Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Leitner, and I am here today with Keely Cartrett, a sixth-year senior on the Belmont women's soccer team. She initially spent her freshman year at University of Alabama and then transferred to University of Georgia and is now here, my teammate. Today we'll be talking about her experience in the recruiting process and her experience with the new NIL rules and how that has affected her. So the first question I have for Keely is there anything you wish you knew before being a college athlete? If so, what?
I would say that I wish I knew going in my freshman year how important choosing a school that you would like to go there outside of playing soccer is, because I think my freshman year I chose a school because it was big and it was an SEC school and all of that, but when it came down to it, if soccer wasn't the case, I didn't want to be a student there and I didn't really care about that degree. And so I think I would have done things differently if I had known that.
Mm-hmm. And this kind of piggybacks off of that, and so that would be the next question is, what's one piece of advice you would give a high school athlete trying to get recruited?
I would say that is really important, and then also the coaching staff that I initially committed to was not the coaching staff that I ended up having once I got there, and that was really difficult. And so I would say to either make sure you're going somewhere where the coaching staff absolutely wants you and is excited about you, or to go somewhere where not everything is hingent on the coaching staff. It's you would want to be there for everything else, not just that, because everything can change.
Mm-hmm. And then last question about recruiting is, do you regret anything during your recruiting process and why?
I regret wanting to go somewhere, I think more so to tell people that I went to an SEC school. I think that if I had kind of humbled my pride a little bit in the recruiting process, I would have gone to a smaller school, maybe a Belmont first, and
Mm-hmm.
probably had a really enjoyable experience all 4 years. But honestly, I say that, and then looking back, I don't actually regret anything because
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for how my journey's been. But I feel I probably wish that I just had looked at more schools and not just jumped at the first opportunity that came.
Mm-hmm. And then, so now, obviously, with all the new NLI rules, a lot of stuff has changed in your life compared to last year when those weren't a thing.
Yeah.
So how did you establish yourself as an individual and an athlete on TikTok?
So I think that because one of my first viral videos was when I was playing at Georgia, and that happened in the locker room, is I kind of became known as the soccer girl that does TikToks. And so establishing myself as an athlete on TikTok was actually pretty easy, just because I always make TikToks doing what I do all the time, and that is playing soccer. So it's just kind of natural, and yeah, I would say that.
And so then now, how have the new NLI rules impacted you specifically?
They have impacted me a lot. I have been able to start, making money off of different brand deals, and I think last month alone I made almost $10,000, which is insane. And so that's been really awesome, because that's something that for the past 2 years since TikTok started blowing up, I had to turn down and watch my friends do stuff that weren't athletes and just be dang it. And so that's been really cool.
Okay, and then the last question on NIL is, how have you used your platform and your NLI deals to kind of advocate for other athletes in that sense?
So I think that the moment that the NIL was passed, I made a video just saying that I was excited to start making money or whatever. And I remember that I got flooded with DMs from little boys that were just so mad, because they were this doesn't apply to you, this only applies to the top tier football, basketball players. And a lot of random Instagram accounts also posted my video, so then all those comments just started flooding in, and I just kind of went to my Instagram story and was listen, this deal is so beneficial to every single athlete. Like I said, I made that much money last semester, or last month. Those kind of things weren't available to us. If anything, I think that the previous NIL rules hurt girls,
Mm-hmm.
in the ones that have their social medias for other things, or are involved in other things, Kayla with her art. We have a teammate who does art, and she couldn't sell her art with her name on it, and
Mm-hmm.
now she's able to. And so I kind of just have taken my social media and kind of educated, or tried to educate people, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
about how it's actually a huge deal for everyone, not just the big football players that are going to make like millions of dollars, but
Right.
it's everyone.
Yeah. And then the last two questions I have are kind of a summary of your career as a student athlete. So the first one is, what have you learned about yourself being a student athlete?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think that I've learned a lot in the past 6 years. Mostly lessons, not so much like anything about myself. I guess just that like I've grown to be pretty strong and a lot more mentally tough, which I think is one of the best lessons that you can learn as a student athlete, and just like the perseverance to push through 6 years, you're almost there.
Right there with you.
That is something that I'm definitely proud of myself for. So.
And then last question, with Thanksgiving around the corner, what are you grateful for as a student athlete?
That. I'm grateful for all the lessons. I'm grateful for the friends and the memories that I've had these last 6 years. I'm grateful for every opportunity that's come, like everything with the NIL. I don't think would have, like all those opportunities I've had, I wouldn't have had unless I was an athlete. So I'm grateful for all of it. And like I said, I would advise other people differently, but I wouldn't go back and change anything.
Right. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope that you learned a lot. Again, Keely Cartrett, Andrew Leitner, Belmont Women's Soccer.
Like and subscribe.